I unified Germany as Bavaria in under 7 years. So how did I do it? Let's go back to past Connor. Well, really it's trying to speedrun it as one of the minor German states, but Bavaria is, I think, clearly the best of the minor German states. You could maybe make an argument for like Hanover or something, but I think that Bavaria is just going to be clearly the best one. We're going to start by improving relations with France, Prussia. Oh yeah, we need to declare rivalries against Switzerland, Belgium, Netherlands, Sweden, and Denmark. We're also going to put an interest in Italy to declare more rivalries once our interest appears. But we're also going to improve relations with the Russians, damage with Austria, because we need to be able to invade them at some point soon. Or actually, we don't need to invade them directly, but it's nice to have worse relations so we can invade them if that is going to be necessary. It depends on how Russian-Austrian relations go in the first couple of years. And we're going to start improving relations with some of the North Germans and South Germans that we have the influence to improve relations with. Now, I'm also going to start building up 2 more arts academies in Franconia to get us to #1 arts producer, because we're very much going to need that plus 60 prestige from #1 art producer. And then in terms of tech, I'm going to start by researching nationalism, obviously, into general staff for better military, and then realism for plus 5% prestige. And then I guess I'll go up on taxes, go down in government wages and stuff, like we always do, although we will need to obviously raise government wages at some point during this run in order to become a great power. Time is certainly not quite yet. Now we simply wait till February the 1st so we can declare our additional rivalries to get more influence so we can improve with every single German state, because we are going to want to have good enough relations with all of them so they'll support our unification once we can become a unification candidate, which should be happening around 10 years in, probably. I don't know. We'll see. Start improving relations with the rest of the North German countries here. And there we go. We've still got 1,000 spare influence, which is great. Oh, I guess we forgot Hohenzollern. Let's improve with them. And that should be good. And if we got this an event a little bit later, this would have been really useful. I don't think this is going to be in time for us to become a great power. Maybe it will, but I doubt it. We're actually on the God run. We get artistic inspiration giving us a pro-country lobby towards Prussia. This is incredible. It's going to make it a little bit easier to get in alliance with Prussia. Plus 4 acceptance will be pretty useful. It also might make them more likely to flip genial, or we want genial or protective flip. I think protective is usually what they flip to. We're hoping for that. Connor from the past is about to get a defensive pact with Prussia. Connor from the future is here to tell you that that was the stupidest idea ever, and you shouldn't do that if you're trying to do this in your own run. There's literally just no point. I'm about to hit plus 50 relation with Prussia, and the attitude is now plus 48. Now, I need to go get some more influence, so I'm going to rival the Ottomans, Serbia, and Tuscany, and then host a Prussian power bloc embassy, and that flips the attitude to protective. It's possible to flip it to genial as well, and sometimes it just won't flip it and you'll go cautious. One thing you want to make sure of, based on my tests previously, is you want to make sure it said attitude score roughly plus 48 before you offer to give it. Otherwise, it seems that it will go cautious even after accepts, almost always. This might just be like a coincidence or whatever, but this is how my experience has gone. So you want to wait till it updates to the amicable attitude value. Anyway, now that we've done that, we're going to need a little bit more influence, actually. So I'm going to rival... I guess we can rival Austria, because we actually don't need to have them as a friend for anything here. And then we are going to use that influence to try to get an alliance with Prussia. We do not want to give them an obligation for this, because we're going to need to attack them in the next 10 years. So I'm going to put enlistment efforts on all my states, and then I'm going to put down whichever army has the most total stats, which appears to be the Lancers, and put as many conscripts of these down as possible. And that should help increase our acceptance a tiny bit, up to minus 13, because Prussian army faction changed. Now we're going to change the government to be just the petite bourgeoisie, because Prussia likes the petite bourgeoisie. Now we're down to minus 5. Now, what do I need to do to get the last 5? I'm trying to remember. I checked my test run, and that run actually had an even larger pro-Prussian lobby, and that's how I was able to get an alliance. But what I'm realizing is I don't actually think we need an alliance, so I'm just going to form a defensive pact with Prussia for now. I don't even know if we need the defensive pact, because the plan is to call them in with German leadership anyway, and so they should want to do that regardless of us having an alliance, probably. The only issue is that they might not have an interest in the strategic region, but I'm pretty sure that they normally have an interest in Italy. Yeah, they do have an interest in Italy, or South Germany, which are going to be the 2 places we will potentially be declaring in. Most likely Italy, but there's a chance it's South Germany, but it looks like Russia has good relations with Austria right now, at least. Anyway, now that we've allied Prussia, I'm actually going to start building up a ton of military. The reason I was waiting to do this till this point is I was a little bit scared that, based on some previous test runs, having a larger army makes it seemingly a little bit harder to get protective because of the militarily threatening neighbor modifier. This might just have been like a coincidence or whatever, but on my one run where I tried to build up an army, I didn't manage it, so I figured that I should wait until after we get an alliance with Prussia or whatever to start building up our army. And now we have our defensive pact, and we decided we're not getting an alliance. It's time for that now. Well, we have German National Identity November 1st. I feel like it's supposed to trigger like November 10th, but okay. Well, it's supposed to trigger even later sometimes, but November 10th is like the earliest you usually see it, I feel like. And this isn't like a multiple of weeks away, so I don't know what the reasoning for that is, but I'm going to end the defensive pact with Prussia. The reason we broke the defensive pact with Prussia is we want to attack them soon, and I didn't realize how fast we could attack them at that time, but yeah, we're going to attack them pretty soon, I'm pretty sure, so we're not really going to have too much extra time. Anyway, I'm going to disband around 35 of these lancers and replace them with line infantry so we can try to hold the line. Actually, I did a little bit more than I was trying to do, I think. Yeah, there we go. That's what we wanted to do. And now I'm going to be calling Prussia into this war against the Papal States, as well as Austria is going to be... We're going to call them mostly against Austria for German leadership. That's going to be great. Now we're going to wait to add our other war goals till we have high escalation on this play. I forgot to put my troops on the front, but yeah, we're good now. Okay, did I remember to put these guys on defense? No, I did not forget to, I did not remember to do that. Let's do that real quick. Put this on high promotion. Looks like there's still some people who could join, but I think it'll be fine. I'm going to humiliate Austria, and then I'm going to conquer South Tyrol and Tyrol. The reason I'm going for South Tyrol and Tyrol is they're the two cheapest in terms of infamy provinces for us to conquer, which are German. And we need two German provinces because there's 21 core German states, excluding Schleswig-Holstein, Alsace, and the Austrian states. So we need two of some of those states. And the two easiest are going to be these two. Because Alsace, we obviously can't defeat France easily. And Schleswig-Holstein, a war with Denmark is less in the way than a war with... There's more in the way than a war with Austria, which we needed anyway in order to make them no longer have German leadership. I mean, we could have RNG on Prussia just declaring immediately on Austria, but that's like way too much RNG. Okay, Austria tried to attack us, but they failed. Very good. Unfortunately, Prussia's trying to attack out from Bavaria, which is not what we want to have happen. But Prussia should be winning this long term because general staff should just keep refilling their troops way more than Austria's troops can get refilled. Because Austria shouldn't have general staff by now, surely. Yeah, they don't have general staff yet. Good old Helmuth von Moltke winning a battle in Bohemia. Looks like we have a solid advantage actually down here, so I'm going to put my general on advance because this guy's an experienced offensive planner, so he should be pretty solid. I'm going to go for Austria because it's, of course, the most important state because it's their capital. Oh, I think this is the final battle for Austria. Nice. Once we get into Austria, we can, yeah, start enforcing, and Austria is going to cap significantly faster than Prussia, so we should just get a W after they start getting enforced on. We are looking to start becoming a great power soon. We're pretty close. Oh, our guy upgraded to popular commander instead of just traditionalist commander. That's an extra plus 5% prestige. Actually, we're very close. Yeah, okay. We're gonna keep our troops off the front line now. And we actually just like will be able to get it once our troops recover manpower, I think. Okay, I think this might be enough prestige. We're gonna try it. 151. Okay. You can get an extra 10%, so that's not quite enough. Okay. Well, hopefully once we enforce on Austria, we'll have enough. Because we're gonna have Austria just get enforced on instead of accepting a peace deal here. Because I want to keep in the war with Papal States so that we can stay mobilized. Because otherwise, obviously, we can't become a great power. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. But if we can stay mobilized from this war with Papal States, we should be able to do it, especially with this extra small amount of army and GDP and stuff we'll get from the Tyrol states. And Prussia's barely going to stay in the war for long enough so they can enforce German leadership, which we definitely need. Okay, now we've done this. We've got 138 prestige. Should be easily enough. And we're a great power. Let's go. Big nice. Okay, now we can wipe peace Papal States. I've now just been waiting till we hit plus 50 with Russia, which we just did. And now we're going to try to take on the Germans. This play is going to be pretty tough, but... Or no, we don't want to do it like this, right? Yeah, we don't want to do it like this because we can't get... wait, we can ally Russia. Wait, this is actually... useful. I didn't realize we could do this. Yeah, this means we can declare it like this, which will call in Baden, Hanover, and stuff, which might be a little bit useful. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. I didn't realize we could do that. I'm also going to enlistment efforts in Tyrol and South Tyrol. We can get a little bit more conscripts, and we can also start upgrading the skirmish. We want to put all of our stuff on general training, of course, and then just put a couple more conscripts in the queue. Now, looks like we've got a couple of fronts here. Yeah, this is a lot of fronts, actually. With the help of Russia, we actually can probably do pretty good here. We can also call in Saxony to make this front a little bit better. Yeah, things look pretty solid for us. There are a bunch of people more supporting our thing, so maybe we should have waited a bit longer, but it's fine. What did I declare on? Oh, yeah, I declared with German leadership. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, let's call ally on Russia here, and then sure, we'll sway Saxony with an obligation, I guess, and then surely we just have so many minor countries that surely there's no way, surely there's no way we lose this play. We've got so many countries on our side. Yeah, we got this. Well, it looks like we're losing on this front, so I'm gonna promote this guy to being like a level 4 general, so it'll split evenly. I'm gonna split some guys over, deal with that front. And then I'm also going to split over just a quick little one stack to maybe try to push into Rhineland, because that might be the thing we use to enforce the war, because we do just need to occupy any incorporated state of Germany. Okay, looks like things are pretty good here. We're solid on every front except for the northern front. And we're just going to push into the Rhineland, I guess. Yeah, they're just going to let us push into the Rhineland. And with that, we're pretty solidly winning this war. And there's not too much the Prussians can do about that. I mean, they could try to redirect an army over here, but I mean, like, we have a 60 advantage over here as well, so something that really would solve too much. Looks like we've kind of front spaghettied this enough. Let's go over to this front, I guess. Take North Rhine and occupy Waldeck and stuff, I guess. Prussia's just slowly losing war support. Well, not really even that slowly. It's happening pretty quickly, actually. Yeah, it's going real well so far in this war. You have a 60 advantage on this front? Let's just push. This guy's an experienced offensive planner. Go for Brandenburg. Prussia is 12 acceptance away. Okay. There is actually one thing I want to do before we send peace, I think. And our next step is going to be to declare for Liberate Holstein. And this might seem kind of useless, but we are going to be able to call Prussia into this play. And that is going to hopefully flip their attitude on us from being belligerent to being nice. Anyway, we're going to propose peace deal, German leadership, and now give them the Bavarian Rhineland, and we get it. Okay. Now, what's Britain thinking of Russia? Britain is actually conciliatory towards Russia, so we're going to call Russia into the play as well. Okay. Now, I'm also going to add in Liberate Schleswig and Danish war reps to make them a bit more likely to back down, because we want to back down here if possible. Yeah, we're trying to maximize everything we can for a back down, because a back down will just let us South German Fed, which would be nice. Okay, Great Britain sides with them. That's very unideal. They're actually still max scared, though, at least for now, so that's good. Yeah, they're still max scared, so we get a back down. Okay, that's what we wanted. Russia supports Bavaria. What are we missing? We're missing... what? Hesse-Kassel. Declining an offer to provide military assistance to our country? Bruh. Okay, form a defensive pact with Hesse-Kassel. Is that all we're missing? No, it's not. What else are we missing? That's in South Germany, so let's just have South German Fed form. Now we're at 21 states. Okay. So, we're missing Hesse-Kassel, and what else? This guy's. Okay, form defensive pact with them. And that should be good, right? Surely, surely. Surely with the defensive pacts. Yes. Now everyone should be genial towards us, so just yes. And Prussia's belligerent, so they're gonna flip out of supporting our unification in a second here. But we can form Germany, And with that, we get October 14th, 1842, Germany versus Bavaria. I wonder if this is actually faster than my original Super Germany speedrun. Of course, that was in a version when German National Identity triggered way later, but I'm gonna go check. My original Super Germany speedrun finished January 1st, 1843, so we're like 2.5 months faster than that. That's pretty good. Well, that's the end of the run. That was a pretty good time, I think. If you can manage to beat it, I'd be pretty impressed. So, goodbye. That's the end of the video.